Let's connect. Lights, camera, page, stories, every stage. Reels, reads, real talk of the show. Come on in, let's connect.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stewart Connects. I'm Nalo,
I'm Aziza.
and this is Reels, Reads, and Real Talk. And today we're doing Reels, and we're going to have real talk about a movie that just came out called One of Them Days. We are joined in studio by George Martinez. Welcome, George.
Hi, thank you for having me.
He is another movie enthusiast. He had some thoughts just like us, so let's dive into it. We have some thoughts. Best friends and roommates, Drew, played by Keke Palmer, and Alyssa, played by Sza, are about to have one of them days. When they discover Alyssa's boyfriend has blown their rent money, the duo finds themselves going to the extremes in this comical race against the clock to avoid eviction and keep their friendship intact. All right, so let's dive into it. What do you think?
Okay, so I will say I've been anticipating this movie, very excited. What a trio, Sza, Keke Palmer, Issa Rae. I was very excited, but also very afraid to be disappointed. But I was not disappointed, I will say. Not just for the trio, but also like it's been a while since I've seen a good comedy, straight comedy. The crowd, we were all laughing continuously throughout the movie. It was just a lot of fun.
All right. Well, that is Aziza's thoughts on One of Them Days. George, why don't you give us your thoughts?
I think when you have an amazing movie, like when it's over and you leave the theater, you just want to talk to the person right next to you.
Yes.
And that was me right after we went to go watch the movie. I was like, she's like, oh my god, that was so much fun.
Yes.
And I just remember thinking like, just as an audience member, yeah, I laughed so hard. I loved the audience reaction to everything, the little here's and there's about the Keke Palmer and Sza. Comedy gold. I just love them so much.
They like the movie. So let's dive into it. I'll give you my thoughts at the end. But Vanessa Bell Calloway, who has been out there in doing this thing for years and years and years, actually. A lot of you maybe even know her from the first Coming to America. So Vanessa Bell Calloway plays Mama Ruth, who is pivotal in the story, which we will talk about. There's special appearances by Cat Williams. Cat Williams is playing Lucky, which is not really that lucky. Little Rel Howard, Howery, who doesn't really have a name in the movie, but he has a good little part that's pivotal to move the story forward. We also have Janelle James, who most of us know from Abbott Elementary. And if I'm not mistaken, this is her first actual movie.
Yeah.
Is that true?
True.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. So this is and the role that she plays in Abbott Elementary as the ne'er-do-well principal.
Yeah.
In this one, it's similar role, but it's different and it's fun. So a shout out to her. And there are others, but I wanted to also shout out Keila, I think that's how you say her, Monterosa Mejia. She has a role. She is the payday, which payday becomes a big thing in here, payday advance. And she is the person that they deal with when they get to the establishment to try and see if they can get this money for the rent. She is the one they encounter. And the role that she plays is quite similar to the role that she also, shout out to Abbott Elementary, had. She was a recurring character for a few episodes, I think maybe in the first or the second season, and she was funny in that, and she is hilarious in this. That is sort of an overall of who's in it, and there are several other things going on. But I wanted to talk about, so we said you both like it, I wanted to talk about the performances and also the themes, but let's talk about the performances. So, George, what did you think about Miss Keke Palmer playing Drew and Sza? What were your thoughts?
It's Keke Palmer. Like, she excels in everything she does. Like, and Sza, oh my god, Sza's breakout role in this movie.
Yes.
Because I'm very like cautious when music musicians go into movies, but no, she killed it. Like, I just loved her. I just wanted to hug her and be like, as well as Keke Palmer's. I just thought incredible. And like, comedy is very hard to do because like you could do it or you can't. But no, Keke Palmer nailed it. Yeah, I just want to say awesome all around.
Okay. And what about you, Mrs. Isa? What did you think about the performances?
Always been a really big fan of Keke Palmer. Watching her do her thing honestly inspires me as an actor to see someone who looks like me on camera. Hope she plays my big sister one day. Honestly, it's not hard to say that she did a great performance because she did, and it was really fun. I really want to shout out the chemistry between SZA and Keke Palmer. It felt seamless. Like, I feel like I know it's SZA's first performance. Keke's a pro, and she just said, "Hey, I got you, sis." SZA's character, oh man, we all have a friend like that. It's like, I love you, but you're so sometimes like I just want to like, girl,
I want to throttle you.
I want to throttle you,
but I love you.
But I love you, and that's how I felt when I was watching it. I was like, oh, you're so stupid, girl, but you're so cute. Like, I love you, you know. So I think she killed it doing that, like playing that kind of like, we don't like you, but we love you. So big shout out to both of them for that. As far as the cameos, Cat Williams, man, does not disappoint. You know, they put him in the perfect role. That dude's crazy, you know, but also has the wisdom, you know, and he really had that. And then also, I want to say for homegirl from Curb Your Enthusiasm, you said her name, but I don't want to say it incorrectly. She was hilarious. A really, like, I'd say like a scene stealer for both the little scenes that she was in. Super funny. She's got like this, I don't even know what to say, kind of just like, she's mean but funny, and I think she kind of plays that like in the 3 roles I've seen her. So,
and we haven't done a shout out to Miss Issa Rae, who is one of the producers. Shout out to Issa Rae. And so, if you are familiar with Issa Rae, Insecure, you know, and so as soon as I heard that her name was attached, I was pretty sure that LA would be a character in this movie. LA is a character in this movie. And one of the other things that I want to sort of pivot back to is Vanessa Bell Calloway's character of Mama Ruth. And so it's funny because there's so many different funny scenes. And before this is over, we're going to talk about our favorite scenes. But for her character as Mama Ruth, I appreciate it because if you're from a community like this community, this place that they called it the Jungle, and when someone came in and she called it Baldwin Estates or something, and they're like, I thought this was the Jungle, which is funny. But you have that Mama Ruth that her inside, not only is she like the wisdom of this whole community, this whole apartment complex, she also has a store within her apartment. So she's got, when you go in, you're like, hey, she got the milk, she got the chips, she got all that stuff up in there. And so that's funny. She is that part of the community that exists and is real. And so when I saw that, I laughed to myself. I'm like, leave it to Issa Rae to put that in the movie. One of the things that I thought, because one of the great things about this is that we have the generational thing, because, you know, they're younger. So their thoughts are a little different than mine. So when I watched this, I laughed and I thought it was great. We're going to talk about the writing, but I thought about the elements and the parts the things that exist in Black communities that maybe people are not so aware of. And there were a few things that I thought of when I saw it. A lot of Black and brown folks who have issues aren't able to get an actual checking account, so they go to those early pay loan places, and they're charged exorbitant rates. The interest rate is super high. Well, that is, and it's joked about because like at one point they look at the wall and they see and it's like 1,900% or something for this loan. And Cat Williams, which, because he's kind of crazy, but he reminds you of those crazy people that's on the street, and they sometimes spit knowledge in a crazy way. and that is Cat Williams. So he's outside the payload. He's shouting out at me. He's like, "Don't do it," because that's real. Because he's saying, "Look, they're gonna get you, and they will hold on to you forever." And so I thought that that was funny, but also true. It has been an existing issue. So I thought that was funny, and it was done in a funny way. We've already shouted out Miss Issa Rae, who was a producer. Let's shout out the director, Lawrence Lamont. And this was written by Sarita Singleton. So when I saw the name Sarita Singleton, my first thought is, John Singleton, but I don't think they're related. So that's funny. She is connected to Issa Rae. She worked on Insecure, and then she wrote episodes of Rap Shit. And so I think this is her first big screenplay. So shout out to Sarita Singleton. So let's get into some of our favorite parts in this movie. Without giving spoilers, let's talk about some stuff. So y'all are both said that this was funny, that it was enjoyable, that SZA and Keke did their thing. Give me what was something that you watched and you said, "Oh, this is funny. This is, I like this." George, what you got?
Was the money advance location?
Okay.
I've been there where I'm sitting across from someone on a computer and I feel like, oh my god, my credit score. I felt seen in a really, in a way I'm like, oh crap, I've been there. I can relate. So that whole section, I was like, oh gosh, why do I feel so seen in this? And just on top of that, I just want to say Cat Williams just outside, just like, no, don't do it. I'm like, that was perfect. But Aziza, what was your favorite scene?
There's so many, but I guess because I didn't prepare, so the first thing that I think of right now, I'm a sucker for everyone coming together to help for a cause. That's not really a spoiler. That's like every movie. But as far as the community, and especially at this time with Los Angeles and everything's going on in Los Angeles, seeing people in a community to help these two sisters, get their money situation figured out, and then with a little bit of comedy on there, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. It just that's what I love in my life. That's what I love about LA. So.
The thing that stood out to me, among other things in this movie, is you have a bully, right? You have a bully, and you got to have that in these movies. And so not only are you trying to get your money, but then you got somebody that's dogging you and that's trying to get at you. And unlike so many other movies, it's a woman that is the town bully, and she's on their tail. Bernice is the bully, played by Aziza Scott, no relation to this Aziza. And she does an excellent job. She's engaging and she's funny, and she has some things happen to her, but you rarely, and it's not like she is not your stereotype. She's not super big or muscular. She's got a nice figure. She's, she's really no bigger or taller than these two, than Keke or SZA, but she is the one that's like, I'm gonna get you. And I love that. I loved how they flipped that whole idea of a town bully on this woman who's chasing these two women. And so I thought, and Miss Aziza Scott, you did a great job. Shout out to Miss Aziza Scott.
My Aziza twin. You and me, girl. You
Yes.
and me, girl.
But it touches on so many. It touches on not just eviction and trying to get your money. It touches on insurance. It touches on there's a point in the movie where they go to the blood bank because you get money when you give blood, and that whole scene. I won't that, but it was a funny scene, and that's where Janelle James is in that scene. But there were several themes that were touched upon. Would you both agree?
Yes. Oh yeah, I think you just mentioned the big ones. So yeah, which happens in comedies. You can have a full-on comedy, and it can still have important themes. Shout out to people for making comedies. Keep comedy.
Yes.
Okay. Stop making everything a drama.
Yeah.
Comedies matter. Okay.
Yes. Even though there are touching scenes, because again, you have these two women who are friends, and like the synopsis says, they got issues and there's things going on. But at the heart, I think at the heart of the movie is the heart of the movie. It is the heart of these two young women trying to get their money, trying to take care of business, just like my two panel members here. I laughed, and when I watched it, I was looking around the audience. It was just fun, and it was fun. It was enjoyable, and I would definitely recommend it. And now is a good time to laugh. And so shout out to Issa Rae for keeping LA. You know, LA's got some issues and we got some things going on, but she did her shout out to LA. So thank you, Issa. So George, any final thoughts that you might have on One of Them Days?
This is a Keke Palmer, Issa Rae. It's just a perfect group of women that we need right now for comedy, especially with LA and with what's going on near LA. I just want to say it's a love letter again to LA, to communities, to everyone coming together, especially now. It's so much fun. I laughed my heart out, and yeah, like I think no spoiler, but there's a line where it's like it's about making you feel like you're with a family, and that felt so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about you, Miss Aziza Stewart, not Scott?
The other Aziza S.
The other Aziza S.
But I won't step to you. Trust. She's terrified me in that movie. I can't compete.
I'm sorry, she terrified me too. I am not trying to meet her on a dark street, on a light street, on any street ever.
Yeah. I will say I was not up for the role, but I think they gave it to the right Aziza. Final thoughts. I also had a great time. It was so great to see a full crowd and really hear everyone laughing and laughing hard from the very beginning. Like that, it did not take longer than 30 seconds to get a big laugh throughout the theater. It's good to laugh. So definitely get yourself a laugh and go watch the movie.
Yeah, I agree. I would recommend it for laughter, for community. I think that it is this is a perfect time to go and enjoy a movie in the theater. Given that that movies come and go so quickly, there's no telling how long it'll be there. So I recommend going to see it now. Go and see it now. How many buttery popcorns out of 5 would you, George, give One of Them Days?
5 out of 5. Fresh popcorn, salt, butter, everything. Go watch this movie.
Aziza, what would you give One of Them Days? How many buttery popcorns would you give it?
I will say it's a 5 buttery popcorns with some red vines, and maybe even kettle corn. You know, I like to mix sweet and salty. You know, but I don't know, maybe have a hot dog if it depends how hungry you are. But yes, all of that.
And I am going to make it unanimous. I would give it 5 buttery popcorns for the acting, for the directing, for the writing, and for the laughter. This is a movie that you will enjoy. This is a movie where you will have fun, you will laugh, and it is a movie that I recommend. Thank you so much for joining us at Stewart Connects, Reads, Reels, and Real Talk.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And thank you again to George.
And thank you, George, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Everybody have a wonderful day.